my dear ones, this is a timeless, near personal love and spirituality reading for whomever is guided to watch it with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. This reading is sponsored by April Nelsonisi, and take note that the reading can be in the reverse for some of you. And if you need more information or help after you have listened to this reading, you can turn to the love readings for every season that is up, or you can check out the pick a card readings and near personal readings on the first page of my channel. Now we'll start shuffling your cards, and I use the OSHO Tarot with Ma, Deva, Padma. And when I open your deck here, I see Ace of Pentacles together with Eight of Wands. So it seems like there's some kind of new and exciting beginning that has been going on for you. We can see that the snake is biting its own tail. So you have finished some kind of assignment, and with the snake biting its own tail, it means that you are at the end of this cycle and it's a new one starting. So the snake's venom can't no longer hurt you. You have learned the things you were supposed to learn. So it means that the kind of challenges that you felt faced with, you were able to deal with them in a way that made you probably less scared, more in control, more in zen, more capable, less dramatic, less fragile, and so on. So that snake's venom can no longer reach you. And this meant that you were under the influence of some kind of enlightenment, or you got enlightened, or you kind of understood things from a brighter perspective. And even though you might not know exactly where you're going there with confidence in yourself, is what I'm feeling. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. And here we have the ripeness in the reverse together with traveling, Eight of Wands in reverse. So this is Nine of Pentacles. So it shows that there's maybe a second party in this situation that you feel that they might be a little bit immature and you can't really come in communication with them. It's like you can't make them see what you have seen, or you can't communicate with them because they're in some way acting a little bit ridiculous, or a little bit withdrawn, or maybe they are trying to prove a point or hurt you or manipulate you in some kind of way. Okay, so I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world. And here we can see that there's some problems with integration. So even if you have, again with the snake biting its own tail, so even if you have made your journey and you were able to learn what you were supposed to learn, it seems like there's another party to this story that might not be able to come into union with you at this point, because they haven't been able to do the same. Basically, they haven't been able to come to this enlightenment. So it's a rip here where this person maybe was supposed to come into union with you, like the swan and the eagle coming into union, yin and yang, but they aren't, and you are traveling in great speed. So that is making it even more complicated, because maybe this other person isn't really growing in the way that we hoped, and you are growing immensely. So it means that the gap between you might become increased. So I call the six elements, and here we have six compromise together with traveling in the reversed. So this is calling for something new, and something that might be a little bit difficult for some of you. And it's about maybe not having this great speed, and maybe being able to retrace your step and go back and talk basically baby language with someone. Okay, so this is what I'm getting, like compromises that might not be fun for you to make, because you're kind of over it and you want to move on, and you want you probably like this person. It's 6, so it's connected to the Lovers card, and here we have 8, Strength card. So I'm thinking it's a lot of passion you have maybe with this person, or they meant a lot to you. They might have been your bestest of friend, or the person you could really talk to about everything. But it seems like there's some kind of delay in their personal growth. that is calling for you to come back, go down to their level, and I don't know about doing it all again, but there's something. We're going to move on and see what it is that is asked of you here. So 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear viewers. We had 2 cards flying out of this deck, and it's the Master in reverse together with ripeness. So sometimes masters needs to incarnate with the general population to be able to, you know, teach them stuff. Even if you have actually, you know, you ascended, you were on your way to nirvana, and you were supposed to be, you know, one with God or whatever. And then you were asked to, no, can't you incarnate here? We need to help to get this people into a more elevated state. The ripeness is about personal growth. It's connected to the 9, the hermit. So it's about going inward, finding yourself, becoming more adult, leaving childhood behind, leaving victim mentality, drama queen behavior, baby behavior, or abusive behavior or violent behavior behind, and starting to become more cool, more grown up, more sure of yourself, self-love, self-respect, which means that you will also love and respect other people. So it seems like you have been almost caught by some kind of net and being asked to go back and teach people. So even if you were supposed to, you know, ascend and move to some cloud somewhere, I think this didn't happen. It might be that it got you a little bit irritated, but since you're so evolved, I guess you can take it. So I want you to have love in your life and to find yourself in loving relationship. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. We had spring here. It came small flowers up through the grass, and the leaf was starting to come on the trees and everything. Very early. We are just in the beginning of March, and this happened already in February, and it's unusual for Sweden. Usually this happened in late April or May, but now today it's snowing. So just I saw a green leaf on the trees this morning, and now it's snowing, so it's really spring weather. Okay, so I'm just going to tune in for a few seconds here to you and your situation. So it's 1 step forwards and 2 steps back, but also that can have its beauty. I'm going to take you on a little tour. Don't get nauseated or dizzy. So I just want to show you how the snow is coming down on the window. It's really big snowflakes coming down. So it's a beauty in that too. Even if you expected summer, you expected love, you expected, you know, to come home or to feel like, yeah, I made it through, now I'm happy. Then spring was delayed and summer was delayed and snow came back, but it's a beauty in that too, to maybe be withheld from what you're longing for and getting something else instead, and trying to enjoy that too, even if it wasn't really exactly what you planned. So this is your future there, and this is your now, and this is your past, and we have the 6 compromise here. So it's like being forced almost to make a compromise with someone that doesn't seem to understand better. So kind of going down to their level and, you know, playing it cool. And here we have the traveling also in totality. Completion is the world card. 6 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 8 of Wands, and this 6 compromise card. So it seems like there has been a lot of ups and downs in this relationship, and maybe you thought you were supposed to move on and, you know, meet a nicer crowd of people. I'm not so sure. Okay, so you might meet a new crowd, but they might be exactly as the old crowd. So in worst case scenario. So and this is in the now, and we have source in the reversed. So I'm feeling with this, I'm a little bit angry. I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm angry with God. Put me here in this position, having to do this, deal with these kind of energies, okay? And change, another cycle, going with the flow. So you were supposed to go on a vacation, okay? You had fought so hard, your soul has fought so hard for life after life after life, and you know, you had gone through the whole journey. Another 10 here, 10 change, 10 of swords, going from the sleepy dull camel to becoming the roaring lion, and then the innocent child, and the snake bites its own tail. You are back to square one, old and wise soul, but innocent like a child. So you were expecting vacation, but then you were being drawn back into something old, which you were basically finished with. You didn't have, like, the snake had no more venom for you, and you had already done all the work and all the studies and went through all the tests and went through all the examina and got all the grades and the diplomas and, you know, Eureka and everything. But you weren't sent on your way. You weren't, you know, unified with the whole. Instead, you were dragged back into some old situation. I'm feeling like you were dragged back as a teacher, okay, against your will. So that's what's made you a little bit cranky. And here we have healing, and I'm feeling this is your job to kind of help healing humanity by basically being a really good example. Here we have another 8. We have the 8 of Wands, which is a minor arcana card. This is major arcana strength card or courage card in this OSHO Centaur. So it's about being able to shine your light also in the worst circumstances, because you're so strong and your light is so strong. And yeah, breakthrough, 11 justice, and we are the world. So you're basically sent here to be a really good example and to help people heal, even if you think that they are hopeless and they don't deserve it, and you just want to move on and leave these people in the dirt while you reach nirvana. Okay, so this was interesting. And here in the past we have ripeness, and again I'm feeling you already made it. You were able to come to this conclusion that nothing becomes better because of whining or crying or being over dramatic or begging or pleading. So I think you became more individualistic. You became rather cool, rather zen, a little bit tired maybe on certain situations. So that meant you didn't put so much effort into less promising situation, and also that showed a lot of maturity when we don't believe in fairy tales anymore, but actually go with what's the reality. So it seems like you woke up here, became an adult. Okay, and what did we have here? Yeah, the compromise card. Yes. Okay, and then we have transformation, which is death. And I'm thinking this is again with the snake biting its own tail. In this case, it's being shown by the bird phoenix rising from the ashes. And it's some kind of chain and rope here. I'm thinking it's the snake here. You have break the chain of karmic chain here. You really did something marvelous where you totally changed attitude and you became much more cool and ready to sacrifice situation that you before maybe put in a lot of effort into. And, you know, you tried to do kind of false compromises to be extra kind towards people that was extra abusive, or be overly nice to a person that wasn't able to be nice towards you, or being overly loving to a person that wasn't able to love you, or being overly mature together with a person that was very immature. But then I think you got actually sick and tired of this situation because earlier I think you wanted something out of it, and that's why you made a compromise. You wanted something. You wanted summer, okay? At least spring. You wanted this. And so you were ready to sacrifice yourself in many ways to make this happen. But then you got tired of it and you said nah. So you were dropping the situation like hot potatoes, or like something you didn't need anymore. And here we also see an image of that, letting go. It's the drop that kind of shivers on the edge of this leaf here, and are a little bit afraid to be in union, like nirvana, with the rest of the energy in the universe, and thought, well, I know this life as this drop, but I don't know what will happen when I become one with the ocean. But then you kind of made it. You just took the jump or the leap of faith, and you became one with the ocean. So that meant, in some cases, it meant this is showing a situation where you maybe from an earlier lifetime you made some kind of epiphany and you died, and you were supposed to, at least, to maybe as an ascended master or something similar, to become one with the ocean and one with God again, not having to incarnate again. But on a more 3D level, we see that you're incarnated again because you're listening to this. So on a more 3D level, it seems like there was something in this life which you before put a lot of effort into, but here you just gave it up, and you kind of accepted giving it up, even if it was a little bit a sad situation. You just accepted that there was nothing more to give in this situation. That I'm hearing a song, so it's Lift Me Up, because I think you wanted, as this drop, you wanted to be evaporated and kind of lifted up together with the system of water evaporation becoming cloud, and maybe not coming down as rain again, I don't know, but you came down here as a drop instead. So I think that wasn't really your plan. You wanted to be happy, basically. You wanted your happily ever after. And since that didn't work, you asked to lift me up above this. I think this is a little bit, it's a rather harsh song. It's, a lot of bombastic, a lot of noise. So for those of you who don't like that kind of song, don't watch it. But I think this has a nice message for you. It's some kind of revolutionary message. And then we have the Master in the reverse. So it kind of shows that you thought that you would get some kind of reward out of this, that you would finally become happy, maybe by letting a situation go. I'm seeing so many different levels on this. I have already told you the story of you becoming an ascended master and then not being refused to come to nirvana, but actually incarnating again. So I'm going to leave that behind and take the more, hands-on kind of interpretation. So I think here you let something old go, like an old dream, an old relationship, an old work, or some kind of success. You wanted to be pro football player or whatever, and you just gave it up because it didn't give you the rewards, and you had to compromise yourself. Or the relationship, you have to compromise yourself so much and give more maybe than what the other party did, things like this. And you hoped to come out of this and become happy, just be, in a peace and let it all go. But I don't think that was happening. That wasn't the case. Maybe for a while. And here comes playfulness. So it seems like your own inspiration doesn't let this situation go. It still wants to deep dive into this situation, still wants to solve it. You still have, even if the snake's venom is gone, your own inspiration isn't gone. It's something within you, within your soul, that still wants this, still wants to solve it, still wants to fix it. It's the beauty of your kindness, I think. It's the beauty of your soul, not wanting to leave things half done, but actually still having, hope for this situation in a way. And here we have intensity. Intensity is Knight of Wands, so it's about this energy increasing, and now you probably feel rather exhilarated. It's something that you want it to happen. You feel inspiration. You might long for something, or you might start dreaming again about the wonderful harvest that you could make out of this situation if it just could be fixed. And here we have also celebration. So I'm thinking that you are ready for some kind of relationships again that you weren't ready for in the past. You probably felt like hell is other people, like the other people in your football team, the other people at work, or the other person in your relationship, or your friend, or your soulmate, or your family member, that they were not something you wanted to deal with. But here you start to feel like you want to deal with it again. And here we have innocence. So it's so easy to forget the hardship of old. And I'm thinking again, this is this beautiful energy of the child we saw in the Ten of Swords, how you have become childlike and innocent again. And even if you became a little harsh here and you were ready to abandon people's situation, dreams, you weren't able to, okay? It was just a stage, it was just a phase which you needed to go through to maybe become less codependent, as we see in the compromise card here. So not sacrificing yourself for what you want, but actually, you know, reaching what you want, where you want, with yourself intact, and not shipping away parts of you to be able to fit into the hole that was made. Rather now you want to ship out the hole, so it's fitting all of you. Like, you need to be loved for the person you are. You're not prepared no longer to be disrespectful to your own soul just to reach a certain goal. And here we have this politics in the reverse, Seven of Swords. So I think you will be able to call out people and situation that's trying to make you compromise yourself in a negative way. With this kind of the Master and Innocence, which is this is an extra card for OSHO Sense, so it's after the World card or completion card in this deck. And this is the Sun card, number 19, the Sun. And so it shows illumination. You as a master and illuminated, you can see the plays and games that's being done to you, and you can now call the bluffs. You don't have to go into it and start to feel victimized or start to feel unfairly treated. You can just point to it, like, this is what I'm seeing happening here, and I'm not going to be a part of it. You need to change this. This needs to be fixed. And here we have schizophrenia. So I'm feeling you are putting hard against hard. You want to engage in the situation, but you don't want to give yourself away. So you, at any, like, I feel like a drop of a hat, you can sacrifice the situation, not totally, because you're still on. It's like you still have the inspiration and want to fix it, but not, you don't want anything to be built on your back. It's going to be built in a common platform, like together with these people. Like, everyone needs to participate. It's not going to be built only on you. So with this, I'm feeling that at any time when people are starting to become manipulative or dramatic or childish or whatever, you're not going to participate in that situation. You're rather going to step back, disengage a little bit, ask for more maturity. And when the maturity comes, then you might re-engage. So it's like you put the other person in the silent corner or something like that, or I don't know. But here's the snake and the venom. So this person has some venom in them still, but you don't want to take it. You don't want to hear about it. You don't want to deal with it. But it's like when we act with this kind of low active behavior, we don't have to go into a fight. We don't have to raise our voice. We don't have to engage in the drama or feel the feeling that the other person is trying to manipulate us to feel. So we are just like, okay, so I'm seeing what's happening here. Call me another day when you don't feel like making a mess out of this situation, and I will answer, I promise. And you just disengage. And this is the future. And in the future here we have the Fool. So it's a new beginning. It's hope coming back. It's you feeling like ready for miracles, or ready for new adventures, or things actually going great this time instead of, you know, not going that great. So we'll see if that will actually happen. We have adventure here in the reverse. I'm thinking this is the other person. Not really being ready for this, what you are offering as of yet, but kind of you have one of their ear, okay? So if you're acting with this kind of behavior where it's the same way you're acting when you teach a child something. You give them not so much attention for bad behavior, said that's not correct behavior, I don't like that, don't do that, and then you disengage, go and fix the situation or whatever. But when a person does something great, a child does something great, you give them all the praise, all the love, saying, this is really good, this is really marvelous, this is wonderful, I'm so proud of you, kisses, kisses, kisses. So this is maybe what you are going to have to do with this person to kind of steer them in the right direction. And here we have the dream, which is the Six of Cups. So here you let things go, but this is 19, the Sun card, so it's kind of the highest form of love. It's when we don't ask for anything for ourselves, we just hold this very beautiful wisdom and innocence. We know right from wrong, and we are able to stay cool with what we know, so we don't start to question ourselves and second guess ourselves and become weak and wobbly and fall. So we stay strong, we know what's right from wrong, and we don't let other people to persuade us that, no, it was actually you doing the wrong thing and you should have. No, you're like, no, this is not it. So here's some beautiful second chances coming through, where we can start all over and try once more. It's almost like two children here, starting over once more, and maybe your hope is a little bit maybe higher to what is actually going to happen, but sometimes we need to have very high hope to even go into the situation. So that is sometimes how the divine fools us, because we think, oh, it's going to go so great, and it doesn't go that great, but it's anyway, the rewards are enough for you to feel happy here for a moment and actually feeling like, yeah, they get me now, or they understand me, or I finally can talk to them, or finally they see my value, or finally they understand what I was trying to tell them, or finally they see my love and they feel their own love. And so it's a beautiful moment there. And the next card is projection, and it's a 7, comes underneath another 7, which is the 7 of Swords. So this is what you have to deal with. This is why you came back, to deal with people that are still spiritually disillusioned. So this is a person, they can't even hear what you're saying. They're just hearing what they are saying to themselves. So you can say, I don't want to deal with you when you are like this. Call me when you feel better and when you are not going to make this situation dramatic by raising your voice. And this person hears that you don't love them anymore, you are never going to speak to them again, and yada yada. So this is a person that doesn't live in reality. They live in illusions, and they can be very manipulative in that illusion because they know how to play other people to get what they want. Usually children are like this. They know if I cry loud enough, and my mommy or my daddy would buy that candy to me. But they don't know why they want the candy, okay? They don't know that they want the candy because they actually need love. So it's a person being a little bit in an illusion or disillusioned of what they really want, what they really need, what's good, what's bad. So here you need to stay a little bit strong and very loving, but in the same time very clear-minded, and not fall for any of these kind of manipulative games where a person might try to play your empathy or something similar to that. And here we have guilt in the reverse, the 8 of Swords. So it shows a situation where something that was previous unsolvable, and why you gave it up because the person they weren't straightforward with you, they were lying with you, and they say, you raised the voice, or you were like this, even though they're just describing themselves, and you just, feeling a little bit tired here with the letting go card. So you try to let it go. But here it actually seems like this situation could be solved with these 2 cards in the reversed. It's very difficult cards, but when they are in the reversed, it's like a situation that was unsolvable actually are solvable. But it means that you need to help this other person heal. You need to be able to point out to them, no, you actually don't want the candy. It's something else that you want. Search deeper within you and try to find out, okay, so what is it that you're really craving in this situation? And you can help that person to find their ways and to heal themselves. But It seems like they need you as a guide, and I don't see you giving up on them. You're getting very, very tight with them over and over, but you're not giving up on them. And the divine says this situation isn't insolvable, but if you want to solve this, you need to stay cool and not fall into their projections or their drama. So be very anti-reactive and say, I can see how you're acting right now. This is not healthy. Can you please calm down? Maybe we can talk you can talk in a very low voice, and being very clear with your message. Sometimes you can't reach a person in that stage, and then you need to disengage for that time and maybe get back to them when they have a little bit clearer mind. Okay, so this was what I was seeing for you this time. And I hope this will help some of you out there that needed these advices. And I will come back, sprinkle more of these near personal readings, maybe pick a card readings. And in the end of March, I will also come back with love readings for Taurus season. So until next time, take really good care and bye-bye.